My third career, really, I was in education, and kind of the first day of summer when teachers get out or administrators or whatever get out is an enjoyable day for us. So I went for a motorcycle ride. I was a dirt bike rider, had raced quite a bit in my life, and was training, getting prepared for the summer, and had a mechanical failure. I hit a boulder going, they estimate between 35 and 45 miles an hour, and shattered the whole left side of my body. After my amputation, I had all kinds of difficulties keeping a socket on, having a socket stay on, not having skin problems. That was one of the main things. I was having a lot of skin issues. And because of my accident, I stopped being able to work. And so my insurance through my private health care went away. And so I had to get reconnected back to VA. They quickly realized that, hey, a traditional socket is going to be a problem for me to have any sort of regular life.
It was tough. It was really tough. You could tell that this was an active guy. It was really hard to watch him struggling to get back to just basic walking and just basic bearing weight through his leg. And no fault to his own, he just couldn't tolerate the socket.
My physical therapist, who's really done the work with me, she said, hey, there's this surgery, osseointegration. I've heard a lot about it. Is it something you'd be interested in?
The Osseointegration Rehabilitation Program is a new program at the Eastern Colorado healthcare system. Osseointegration, also called bone-anchored limb prosthesis, is where part of the prosthesis essentially is inserted into the bone that then projects through the skin and can be connected to the external part of the prosthesis. Steve was the first candidate that we identified. So he obviously met all of the clinical criteria, but Steve also showed this sense of resilience and patience that is needed not only for the surgery and the rehabilitation journey itself, but also navigating the collaboration and coordination of two different clinical teams. So our team being the rehabilitation team at the VA, and then his surgical team being Dr. Jason Stonebeck's team at the University of Colorado.
The main thing was it eliminated the use of a socket, and the people that had good outcomes. People talked about they could put their prosthetic on in the morning, wear it all day, take it off when they go to bed. That was the number one thing I wanted. Also, this surgery really increases your osteoperception, so you know where your leg is in space. And so making that decision, that part of it was easy. I thought my quality of life would be better. The things that were hard is it's a long process. It's 2 surgeries, and it's about a year from start to finish, right? So you need to have an intrinsic motivation to stick with it once you've done it.
Steve is on stage 2, so he has gotten through a full progression of load, which is a very long process. So he's at the part now where he's wearing his prosthesis again. This is kind of the final stages of rehab that we're getting through, getting him back to normal walking. Right now he uses a single forearm crutch to get around just for that added stability while we work on his strength, his balance, and then also him just feeling comfortable loading that leg again. It's a really different feeling when you have your prosthesis attached with the femur. So the load progression is really slow and purposeful. So I know a lot of times when we're going through the process, Steve wanted to know what the next step was. And I was like, all right, we're gonna get through this part. This is what we're working towards. And then what's neat about Steve is I would tell him the next part, he would come in and be ready for that part because he worked on it since the last time I saw him.
I mean, I want to function like an able-bodied person, and I don't want my amputation to limit really anything, whether that's working 8 hours a day, whether that's going to church or an outing with my family, being able to do what I want like an able-bodied person, and I'm fastly approaching that, I feel.
One hand, Steve. One hand, one hand, one hand.
One thing I will say, in working with Steve, I had never seen him smile so big as the first day we stood him up on that osseointegration implant with his components attached, and you could almost see the realization on his face, like, oh my God, this is real and this is amazing.
Our veterans deserve the best. And so whatever my part is to take, some of the best care that's out there and some of the latest technology and bring that to my local veterans, I mean, that's the ultimate goal.